Have you ever noticed how you can walk into a room feeling fine, then 5 minutes with one specific person and your battery is suddenly on red? It is not always what they say. Sometimes it is what your body senses. A tiny tightening in your chest, a shallow breath, a smile that feels heavy. And when you finally leave, you do not feel relieved. You feel drained, like you just ran a race you never agreed to. Here is the strange part. These people are not always mean. They can be funny, they can be successful, they can even say they love you, yet your energy drops every time. So what is happening inside you? Here is the psychology behind people who lose energy around certain people. 1. Your nervous system reads them as a threat, even when your mind says they are safe. Your brain has two speeds. One is logical. One is survival. And survival always gets priority. If someone has unpredictable moods, sharp reactions, or a habit of turning small things into tension, your body learns a pattern. It starts scanning them like a storm cloud, because you are adaptive. This is called conditioning. Your nervous system pairs their presence with danger signals. So, the moment you see their face, your body prepares. It releases stress hormones. Your muscles tighten. Your attention locks in. You become alert, polite, careful. That state burns energy fast. You may not even notice it in the moment. You just feel tired after. And you might blame yourself. Why am I like this? But your body is doing what it was designed to do. It is protecting you from what it expects. Think about a simple example. You grew up around someone whose love depended on your mood. If they were happy, the house was safe. If they were upset, the house was chaos. So you learned to monitor. Now, as an adult, you meet a person with the same emotional weather, and your system recognizes it before your mind does. That is why you can feel exhausted even after a calm conversation. Because calm was not the signal. The possibility of conflict was. 2. They trigger your people-pleasing, and people-pleasing is emotional labor. Some people do not just talk, they take. Not money, energy, they take it by making you perform. You feel like you have to be the right version of yourself. More cheerful, more helpful, more agreeable, more interesting, more patient. And the scary part is this, you do it automatically. This connects to traits like high empathy and high agreeableness. It also connects to a learned belief. If I keep the vibe good, I will be safe. So you manage their emotions like a job. You soften your truth. You laugh louder. You ignore your own discomfort. You translate yourself into something that will not cause friction. That translation costs you. This is emotional labor. It is the hidden work of regulating feelings, yours and theirs, so the interaction stays stable. And if you grew up being responsible for the mood in the room, you probably became skilled at it. You can read micro changes, a tone shift, a pause, a glance. You adjust instantly. But while you adjust, you abandon yourself. So your energy leaks out, not in one dramatic moment, in 1,000 small compromises. Notice how you feel around them. Do you relax into your real voice, or do you edit every sentence? Do you breathe fully, or do you hold air in your chest? If you feel like you are always trying to not be misunderstood, that effort is exhausting, even if they never ask you to do it. Your conditioning does. 3. Their presence activates social comparison, and comparison is a thief with good manners. There are people who do not need to insult you to shrink you. All they have to do is exist in a certain way. They talk about their wins like it is casual. They mention their connections. They highlight what they have. They make everything a subtle ranking system. And you start doing math inside your head. Am I enough? Am I behind? Do I look small next to them? This is social comparison theory. Your brain automatically measures your status against others. Status once meant resources. Protection, belonging. So when someone makes you feel lower on the ladder, your body reacts like you are at risk. Some people also trigger your imposter feelings. They ask questions that feel like tests. They correct you in small ways. They keep the conversation on topics where they shine, and you leave feeling like you have been defending your worth. That defense drains you, because your attention was not on connection. It was on performance, and performance always costs more than presence. Here is the sneaky part. Even if you like them, your system may still compare. You might admire them, you might learn from them, but if you do not feel emotionally equal in the room, you will not feel emotionally safe. And without safety, your energy cannot refill. 4. They cross boundaries in tiny ways, and your body pays the bill when you do not name it. Not every boundary violation is loud. They interrupt you. They tease you a little too sharply. They ask personal questions you did not invite. They demand quick replies. They make jokes that make you second-guess yourself. They borrow your time as if it is theirs. And if you are someone who avoids conflict, you often swallow the discomfort. You smile. You let it slide. You tell yourself it is not a big deal. But your body keeps score. This is where emotional intelligence matters. Because the body speaks first. It speaks as fatigue, irritation, headaches, a desire to escape, a blank mind. You may not have words for what felt wrong, but your nervous system already filed the report. And when you keep tolerating those micro-invasions, you teach your system a painful lesson. My needs do not matter here. So every interaction becomes a place where you shrink. This also connects to something called cognitive dissonance. You are experiencing two truths at once. I care about this person, and I feel worse around them. That conflict creates mental strain. So you spend energy trying to resolve it. You rationalize. Maybe I am sensitive. Maybe they did not mean it. Maybe I should be more chill. And while you rationalize, your boundary stays unprotected, so the drain continues. 5. They are an energy mirror, and they pull you into the emotional state they refuse to manage. There are people who carry chaos inside them. Anxiety, anger, restlessness. They do not process it. They spread it. They vent. They spiral. They complain. They create urgency around everything. And if you have high empathy, your system syncs with theirs. This is called emotional contagion. Your brain is wired to mirror expressions, tone, and rhythm so you can bond. But when someone lives in constant tension, bonding with them feels like holding an electric wire. Some people do this unintentionally. They never learned regulation. They never learned to self-soothe, so they outsource calm to whoever is nearby. That means you become their nervous system. You listen. You reassure. You solve. You carry their stress home like a bag you did not pack. And afterward, you feel empty. Not because you are weak, because you are doing double work. Pay attention to this sign. After you talk to them, do you need recovery time like you just dealt with a crisis? Do you feel foggy? Do you feel like your emotions are not even yours? That is your system telling you that you absorb too much. Now here is the big question. What do you do with this information? First, name what is happening. To protect you. Say it plainly in your mind. My body gets tense around them. I edit myself around them. I compare myself around them. I feel invaded around them. I absorb their mood around them. When you name the pattern, you stop treating the drain like a mystery. Second, tighten the boundary in the smallest possible way. You do not need a dramatic confrontation. Start with time. Shorter conversations, more space between replies, more pauses before you agree. Start with access. Not everyone deserves the version of you that is open, available, and endlessly patient. Some people earn that. Some people only rent it, and the rent is your peace. Third, practice emotional independence. This means you stop letting their mood become your assignment. You can care without carrying. You can listen without fixing. You can be kind without shrinking. That is not cold. That is mature. And finally, trust your energy. Energy is data. It is feedback from your nervous system. If you always leave a person feeling smaller, tighter, and tired, your body is not being rude. It is being honest. So here is the takeaway. You are not lazy for needing distance. You are not fake for feeling drained around someone who seems nice. You are not broken for having a body that reacts before your mind can explain. You are sensitive. And sensitivity, when guided by self-awareness, becomes wisdom. If this hit a nerve, you are not alone. Drop a comment with one word that describes how you feel after being around your energy-draining person. And if you want more videos that decode the quiet psychology behind everyday feelings, subscribe. Not because you have to, because understanding yourself changes everything.